The Ben Ish Chai and the Ari says on Parashat Dvarim, אתם עוברים בגבול אחיכם, בני עשיו, היושבים בשעיר. You are passing by the border of your brothers. Your brothers were the descendants of Esav. Esav was the brother of Yaakov. היושבים בשעיר, ויראו מכם, ונשמרתם מאוד, and they will be afraid of you. And you should be very careful. אל תתגרו בם, don't incite yourself at them. כי לא אתן לכם מארצם. I'm not going to let you conquer the land. עד מדרך כף רגל, and so on and so forth. Nothing. The Ben Ish Chai says that Chazal wrote the Yaakov Avinu, if we take the months, we get to it maybe in the next few days. When you take the months of the year, there are 12 months, starting from Nisan, the 12 months, divided for every Shevet. Originally, it was supposed to be for us when we were doing what we're doing. So Yaakov Avinu lakach chelko, he took his share. Nisan, Iyar, Sivan, those months. Ve'esav, so all these months, which are month of Matan Torah, Pesach, Omer. Ve'esav took Tammuz, Av, ve'Elul. That was his portion of Tammuz, Av, and Elul. And Yaakov Avinu nitgaber elav, strengthened himself, vegavar, and he became stronger, overcame him, vechataf mimenu Elul, and he grabbed Elul from him. That's why in the month of Elul, it's the month that we dedicate for us, for spiritual elevation, and so on and so forth. And we are coming to those things. So one needs to be aware that these are very important months in our practice and our spiritual development as well. Where Tammuz and Av, one needs to be careful. Throughout the generations, shares didn't work. Our share wasn't so great during those months. So it says, "Velekach shalat bahem bezman hachurban, ve'era Yisrael bahem." That's why during the destruction of the temples, that was the months in which the catastrophes usually happen, and using the leverage of the spiritual attribute of those months that were giving the share, that's how he was able to come and harm the Jews themselves. אך לעתיד לבוא, גם שתיים אלו ילקחו ממנו, even those two will be taken away from it, וישלטו בהם ישראל, ויהיו שני חודשים אלו, ימים טובים לישראל, and it's going to be, those days are going to be happy days for the Jews as well. And it says, and it's also known by the Mekubalim, the klipa of Esav, the husk of Esav, the shell that wraps us and surrounds us, would fall during this, or crack, or will fall during this time, when Yaakov Avinu, and represented by Am Yisrael, will take this from him. How? By taking the letter Vav, right? By taking the letter Vav, Shu Besof Shemo, Yaakov, right? The end of his name. Vishayer bo Ash. Because Esav, so he's going to take the Vav from Esav, and it's going to be Ayin Shin. Ayin Shin in Hebrew is Ash. His name is Esav. We're going to take the Vav, so it's going to stay Ash. Ash is a moth. Ve'az itkayem, and then the pasuk, the verse which came from the prophecy, Ash yochalem, that is going to consume them like moth consumes. That's how it's going to be. That's the pasuk that prophecy is going to fulfill. And it says in Midrash Rabbah, Me'od, the name Me'od, Zeo Yetzer Hara. That refers to the Yetzer Hara. וזה שכתוב, that's what it says, אתם עוברים בגבול אחיכם, you're going by the borders of your family. It's a wonderful family. And ויראו מכם, right? And you should, they will fear from you, because now you took the month of Elul as well, which at the beginning was a part of Islam. That's why they fear from you, because you took another month away from them. וצריך, ולכך צריך שבחודש הזה תהיו נשמרים מן היצר הרע הנקרא מאוד. During Elul especially, one needs to be very careful from the Yetzer Hara, especially for us. Elul is the last month before you're going back to school. And usually, when you have this attitude of Magia li, I deserve it, it's like, oh, I'm going back again to this, all right. That's when the big party starts and so on and so forth. It's not for nothing. Things are the way they are. And now, for all you had invested all throughout the year, comes the month of Elul, and you throw away everything behind, and you fall, and you come empty, aron ve'eria. You're coming naked in front of Tishrei instead of enhancing yourself. That's what we do, is we are asking for tachanunim and slicha, and we're saying slichot during the whole month of Elul. That's the Kabbalistic reason why the Sfaradim say, since the Sephardic orientation in approaching Judaism is more mystical to begin with. That's one of the reasons why the Sfaradim says from the beginning of the month Elul, not like the Ashkenazim in the last part of Elul. They said, we say the whole entire month of Elul as a remedy against the Yetzer Hara that would try to stumble you, especially in that month. Hopefully the slichot, the fact that we're saying slichot, people again have their own attitude towards it. Slichot, you should really allow yourself, you should be thankful and allow yourself to awaken this spirituality in you, that sense of tshuva. Once you made tshuva, or you awaken this within you, we mekuyam bo pasuk, it says, Kol haba li'itaer mesayim biyado. Since you're coming to purify yourself, you're getting a special siyata d'shamaya, a heavenly support in that process of purification. So since you have a support from Mishamayim, since you initiated that need to do tshuva, so Mimele Yetzer Hara would not have such a stronghold on you. But if you don't do it, or if you do it and your attitude stinks, why do I have to get up? Oh my goodness, I can't take this. I can't wait till this month is over. Sometimes it's worse than not to do it at all. Doesn't mean you shouldn't do it. You should do it the right way. There is again, it's very difficult to try to explain to you that you were raised and born in America to understand what slichot used to be. In the old neighborhoods of Yerushalayim, the old neighborhoods in Sfat and other places like this, the gabbai of the Bet HaKnesset wasn't... first of all, I don't understand why people think that if they're gabbai, they should get paid also, but never mind. It's a schut for you. Sense of entitlement will destroy you. But anyway, the gabbai of Bet HaKnesset used to take a stick. He used to walk, the buildings weren't like apartment buildings 20, 30 stories up or something like that. He used to walk in the alleyways. In Israel and places like this, they have shutters. In Europe also, they have shutters that they close the windows from within. And for me, it was crazy. I came to America. I said, well, the houses don't have any shutters. And if they had, there was like those fake ones outside, which do absolutely nothing. The shutters are a good idea. You have a storm, you have something, you close the thing, you protect, you don't need to barricade yourself, but never mind. So he used to walk in the street like this at 3 o'clock in the morning with a stick. Bang, 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 slichot, get up for slichot, house by house. And then you get up and you come to, and you should have seen how sometimes the connection of the generation applies. Many times you would see the grandfather taking the grandson with him to Bet HaKnesset. And it's a mystical experience. You're wasting the most precious times of the day. By the way, there is no time more precious in the day than the other. But hours that would enable you to increase your spiritual awareness, you're wasting it out in sleeping or doing other things. There's nothing like getting up early in the morning, before dawn. And it is quiet, and you're walking in the street, you see people walking quietly in the street with a talit bag, and they're walking like this. Sometimes you'll see an old man walking with his grandson, to Bet HaKnesset. You're tired, and it's the atmosphere. And, the lights were not like, yekarot, like this bright light that we have today. And there is a certain magic in this simplicity. We build gorgeous, beautiful houses that it's all this like awe-stricken and so on and so forth. But you cannot substitute simplicity and purity with grand facade. You can't. So you sit in a place and it's a little dark like this, and you start singing slichot and you're singing, and then all of a sudden the shamash of the Bet HaKnesset comes with hot, warm, sweet as honey tea with mint inside, teim nana, to come like this, and you drink the tea, and everybody's sleeping, and you're sleepy, and all of a sudden you taste this like refreshing mint into your mouth, into your nostril, and the sweetness. It's very hard not to be moved by it. It's very hard not to let those things engrave into you. And why do we do that? To awaken the essence of tshuva in us. Sheyeh lanu tshuva. Why? Because Elul, we took it from him. Since we took it from him, he will try to, good afternoon. Good to see you. Since we took it from him, the Yetzer Hara, which represent Elul, which represent Esav, will try to stumble us there in order to reclaim its right for this month. So you have to be careful. You have to be careful. So the Ben Ish Chai says, as Yuvan, then you understand what it says, Ad midroch kaf regel, שיהיה נקצץ ונתקן עקוף דקנה ויהיה כמו קנה, הנה, או אז יובן שיושלם הבירור. Then when we're going to do that, the selection is going to be complete. Now what exactly, which selection, which assortment is he referring to? What does exactly mean? And that's the assortment that we again try to do during the month of Elul, so we can come up pure and refined to Tishrei. What is it like? Imagine you have a pen, and you have a whole. So you need to pull, let's say, gold out of gravel, or whatever that is, and you sift it, and all the good stuff, or the bad stuff, or whatever it is, you separate. And then you start with the good, you start with the bad, then you throw it out. After you separate them, then you could say this was a good thing, this is the gold, this is the gravel, this is the diamond, this is the mud. And so only after you have the sifting. That sifting is what we do in tshuva. Birur, separation. It will be very difficult for you to come to Rosh Hashanah not going through this assortment, that sifting. And you should know that it comes from Tammuz. Look, what do we do in Sivan? We receive the Torah. What else we do? During those Nisan, Iyar, Sivan, we bring Omer, we bring the Bikurim. Apparently we did something wrong that right after that we get Tammuz Av. We should come now to Elul being able to sort and to sift what was it that caused us those 2 months to be so difficult for us, because Esav would not have an ability to harm us if we were good, since we weren't, and we need to see exactly what was the reason. So we need that assortment, and then we say, okay, I did this bad to this one, I did this one for the other one, and I'm sorry, and I'm sorry, and I'm sorry, and I'm sorry, and so on and so forth. I regret what I have done, and that's the assortment and acknowledgement of what is good and what is bad. And you need to do that. But more than that, what does it exactly mean? So the Ari says that we should know why in the 7 nations, Sheva Amamin, HaKadosh Baruch Hu commanded, Lo techaye kol neshama. You should not leave a living soul. They all should be exterminated. Uveseir, Umoav, Ve'amon, and those nations, Tziva lo li'ilachem. He commanded not to have a war with, not to fight. 7 nations, but not those 3. Va'inyan, and the issue is, Ki Shiv'a Amamin, those 7 nations, Hem Sheva Klipot shel Kelim Nishbarim. There's the 7 husks of the broken vessels that broke through the 7 kings of Esav, as he brought in Bereshit, Alufei Esav, Alufei Edom, right? Those 7 cleans of broken vessels, and not the klipot. These are those 7 husks. Ve'az kvar yatsa mehem ha'kedusha. The kedusha separate from them. There's no kedusha in them. Aval shel gimel rishonim, for the first 3, adayin haya bahem kedusha. There was still kedusha in the klipot of the first 3, and they are the Seir, Moav, Ve'emon, which in those nations. And who sits in the nation? Akini, Aknizi, ve'Akadmoni. So we can't do war. Ule'atid, and in the future, Yigamer kol hakdusha latzet. All the kedusha would be removed from them as well. Until the kedusha would be removed, you're not allowed to go to war. Now you might understand what Chazal said also, lo lihitgarot ba'amim, not to, one of the shvuot, the prophet told us also, not to incite the nations. Because of that, sometimes they still have a certain kedusha. You cannot win it until there is some kedusha in it, because there is a yenika, there is an observation of kedusha that comes to the klipa, and as long there is a feeder of kedusha, holiness is a spiritual feeder that gives something, an entity, a right to live. The klipa, the tum'ah, the impurity is like a parasite. Does not generate anything out of itself, but rather feeds off something else. And that is the kedusha, the tum'ah feeds on that. And not to the camera, I'll tell you something else. Remind me. And when those kedusha would be separated from them, as gamken lo techaye kol neshama, and which are the Seir, Emon, Umav. And what do we say about Seir? Az ya'alu Mosheim. Guys, you don't pray? Open the Siddur. What do we say before Ishtabach? V'alu Mosheim Behar Li what? Lishkon? Lishpot et Har Esav. V'alu Mosheim Behar Tzion Lishpot et Har Esav. Tzion, the gematria of Tzion is the gematria of Yosef. It's the same numerical value, and Yosef refers to Yesod, the foundation. Alu Mosheim Be'ar Tzion Lishpot et Har Esav after the Mishpat of Bnei Esav, which are Moab, right? Who's going to rise up from the east, right? With soaking clothes with blood and sweat, right? That's Me'ar Edom. Those are the Edomites. So after that, we're going to be able to take them apart. Now, Seir Remez Larishona, to the begin with. Kede Amrina, as we say, Meseir Malkam. Moab, Av Chochma, the father of wisdom. Ammon, Noam Binah. Right? And that is Malchut. Seir u Edom. Seir and Edom are the same thing. V'zayin Melachim shemetu, over there, the 7 kings that died, Eino mimeno, rak malku ba'aretz, they're not direct descendant of Esav. They're just kings that rule the land of Esav. The Sheva Melachim at the head. Lachen ktiv, that's why it says, mehem shem shem arzo, lo shayu me'edom. That didn't come from Edom, just ruled over Edom. V'hazimzumim, zamzumim that we have over there, emi birure chokhmah, from the assortment of the quality of chokhmah, el machshava, and so on and so forth, as we say, ka'asher zamam, as he had planned, as he schemed to do. And from that, the Erev Rav comes. V'chol mi sheyesh lo hirur machshavot ra'ot, and whoever has hirur, bad thoughts, or bad scheming, is most likely a descendant of the Erev Rav that mixed in. And who are those people? Sichon, Leshon, Siach, Ve'egel. All those people who told us, Sichon is Siach. Siach means a colt. Egel is a calf. And this is the klipa. In Kabbalah there's a concept. It's called klipat chamor. The husk of what is so-called the donkey is very similar. You can make the analogy now to the donkey of Bilam. Ve'u orla she'ala brit. The orla, the foreskin, is considered to be klipat chamor. And a chamor, a donkey, are known to be great fornicators. So therefore, when you remove this klipa from you, now you might understand what Chazal says, that the Brit Milah, the circumcision, helps us control the sexual desire. That's why it's important to keep it pure. Because when you unpurify it, you in a way spiritually putting back this klipa on it. Now the Rambam might be understood when we say mimatai, when a person is choteh, mishichnis rosh ha'atara, from a certain part, because then you put the klipa back on you again. So therefore a person needs to be careful with that. And it says, Ve'og, hu or priya hame'akev et habrit. The membrane of the brit is corresponded with Og Melech HaBashan. Ki daka, it's very thin. Ve'krova yoter el kedusha, it's very close to the kedusha itself. Ve'eluhem, and who are these? Bet Malkei HaEmori, the Amorites, the 2 kings of the Amorites. The Amorites were close to us, and believe it or not, we learned a lot from them, and Chachamim tried throughout the years to remove the influence that the Amorites had on us, with all kind of like voodoo practices that somehow mainstreamed themselves. And why did we allow him to mainstream? Because it was close. So it was close, okay, let's adopt it. We made it our own. That's why Am Levadad Ishkon, the bracha of Am Yisrael, is what, they do what they do, regardless of who's around them, they do what they do. Now you understand Kabbalistically, how does that work as well? And that is the Yesod. Yesod, Emori Yesod, refers to that 6th Sphira, right? Which is the one of the, in the Zeir Anpin is the 6th Sefirah, or the 9th Sefirah in the overall scheme of things. The last one is Malchut, kingship. And the Malchut corresponds with Keter, with the crown, that it goes, as we explained, it goes hand in hand. K'de'amrinan, as we say, Shnayim, Shlosha, Gargirim, Berosh, Amir. Now, and Yesod the Nukva, and the Yesod of the Nukva, Lekach lo היה אפשר להילחם בהם ולנצחם אלא משה. The only one who could defeat them was Moshe Rabbeinu. שהוא עמודה דאמציאתה. He is the middle column. Since he is the middle column, he is the most stable of all, the most complete individual in terms of spirituality. That's why he's the only one who could actually defeat them. ונשתלם בו ברית קודש שהוא בהם, and the sign of holiness was attracted to him. That's why he can take away the kedusha from them, and that's why the kings of the Amori, right? The initials is Moshe. And all right, so let's just stop. Let's just before that, and when we say Vezeu, and it says they're coming over the crossing the Yarden, the Jordan River refers to Yesod. Vezeu sod mitzion michlal yofi. From Tzion the great beauty comes. From the beauty from Yesod. The beauty of Am Yisrael is not in the looks. Yes, I know many nations throughout the years try to put it to us that we are ugly people, but we're not. We're beautiful people. Because everybody looks like us. We have among us Johnny Blue Eyes, and we have people with dark skin and white. Jews are beautiful. But the true beauty of the Jew comes out from that. If we said, right, Michlal Yofi, Mitzion, Michlal Yofi. Tzion includes the whole concept of beauty. And if we say Tzion is the same numerical value of Yosef, right, which is Yesod, foundation, by the Jews practicing control and completing the Kedusha, in order to reveal the Kedusha, you have to remove two things. You have to remove a hard klipat chamor, and then you have to remove the membrane, and only then the kedusha comes out. So you need to work hard. And how do you work hard? Now, it will be very difficult for a person, for an adult that already has machshavot and involved, to remove the klipa from him. So you do it for an 8-day-old baby that is pure, that the tum'ah hasn't yet resonated its roots within the Kedusha to suck the holiness from it. Those channels of transfusion of Kedusha to Tumah are not yet well established. So we cut it before it happens. And then we remove it. And then we try to educate the kid by Kedusha, in holiness. So the true beauty of Eretz of Am Yisrael is in their ability to bring about the Kedusha to be revealed. And Kedusha is something that needs to be revealed. You need to bring it out. You could be a very wonderful person, but you need to be out there to show the Kedusha. But there are dangers out there. And the danger is that the Tum'ah, if you completely did not disconnect yourself spiritually from the Tum'ah, even a small vein that connects you and the tumah, even small vein, will be enough to make it to grow into a cancerous, monstrous piece, and it will overwhelm you and will cover you. So it's important to cut it. And how do we cut it? We have to understand that this is wrong. Those 2 months and what we had done there. How do we do this? And we need to have into self-contemplation inside. And we need to understand the process of Torah, the process of tshuva, by learning, by coming to Beit HaMidrash, In Bet HaMidrash, I disconnect myself from the Tum'ah. The Tum'ah has no ability to send its tentacles into Bet HaMidrash. Does not allow. It can't. It's like a giant squid or octopus that cannot reach you because there is glass there. It can't reach you. You can be in a fish tank. It's a huge squid. They're nasty, by the way. They're huge squid. But it can't reach because it's in the fish tank. But once you go into the water, you don't know. That's exactly what it is. So you have to come here. And here, slowly, since the Tum'ah does not have that connection, that feed, you're wicking it because there's nothing for it to feed from you. You created a barrier. And then you go outside and you're able to deal with it because now you are stronger and you don't have anything to connect. The problem is, he says, you know what, let's have a talk. Come, Mr. Tum'ah, sit on my lap here. Let's have something. You know, that's how you reconnect all the time, so you never cut it off. This is the tikkun. By doing so, this is the tikkun of our time. So we don't need to be shy saying, I'm practicing holiness. I don't have to be apologetic that I'm living life the way I live. I want to strengthen the people. If I would be able to act in an appropriate way, maybe I would be able to have the merit to be a beacon of light for people to say, listen, it could be done. There is hope. We don't have to fall into the trap of today's day and age, where there's no guilt and there's no shame. There's no busha. Today you can say anything about anyone, anything about yourself. Any bizarre things. So that's what I am. You don't like it, I'll make you phobic for this and a phobic for that. The problem is on you. I'm okay. You're the problem. There's no busha, no embarrassment, no guilt. I done something wrong. And you could say, I'm a beacon of light. I have morals. I don't cheat. I don't try to cut corners. I don't try to beat the system or cheat the system. If that's what it is, that's what it is. If I don't like it, I can go somewhere else. But to cheat the system, that is allowing the Tum'ah to feed on you non-stop. It's an intravenous Tum'ah. So this is the time when one has to be very, very careful on how he behaves. Guys, how you drive, how you act, how you talk, everything, where you look and how you look. Only then you can start doing the assortment and throw the bad and keep the good. And this is, if we have the bikurim, that we bring the best offering on Shavuot, we bring the bikurim. Rosh Hashanah will be the spiritual bikurim that we bring to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Our spiritual crop that we actually look what we have done. I had some bad, but I refined it. Now I'm refined. You don't have to do it. I did the assortment. I'm refined. This is how you come to Rosh Hashanah. So if this was a physical bikurim, this is a spiritual bikurim. In other words, your work does not start on Erev Rosh Hashanah. Your work does not start by all means on Yom Kippur. Your work does not start at Elul. Your work starts now. It is just like planting. In planting, you have to think before you start planting, how you're going to plow, what are you going to plant. Then you plow, then you plant, then you harvest. You don't wait for your harvest period and then you start planting. That's going to be too late. So our spiritual work to stand in front of HaKadosh Baruch Hu, Rabotai. Yesterday was Rosh Chodesh. We are 8 weeks away from Rosh Hashanah. 8 weeks away and counting down. I don't know if it resonated to you. I don't know if you got it. 8 weeks. There is no time whatsoever to wait, to waste. Roll your sleeves, Get to work, be brave, don't be afraid. Hashem is with you, amen.